Hi there, welcome to another Mojo Moment. We're going to help you lock away GCSE facts on alcohols, carboxylic acids and esters. We're going to be using your visual memory, so listen carefully but imagine as vividly as possible. Actually try to see these things in your brain because once you do that, they'll stick surprisingly easily. So, let's get started. Your chemistry teacher sets you a very unusual homework on alcohols, carboxylic acids and esters. You are to go out late at night to a strange, haunted house and enter through the dusty, scary front door. You bravely push past the cobwebs, the door creaks and opens, and in the gloomy hallway you see 3 more doors. The first door is clearly a pub door. The sign above it says, "We've got alcohol, lots of it." And as you watch, a drunkard staggers unevenly out of it. The second door is guarded by a huge, smooth carbon ox, a carb ox. Carbox makes you think of carboxylic acids. The carb ox is beautiful, but snorting angrily. Saliva is foaming in its mouth. Its hooves are pawing the ground. By complete contrast, outside the third door is an Easter bunny. It's all fluffy and smiley and holding a basket stuffed full of Easter eggs. Easter sounds like Esther. So you're considering what to do when suddenly the pub door bursts open and a wall of liquid alcohol pours out, knocks you over and sucks you back through the alcohol door. The alcohol you swallow in this flood causes you to choke. You're convulsed by a huge hacking cough. Coughing makes you think of COH, carbon, oxygen, hydrogen, a key part of the structure of alcohols. You cough and spit out lots of liquid alcohol, and then out of your mouth pop 3 old men. This is weird. The 3 old men pick themselves up and look up at you with wide-eyed amazement. The first man is messy, and he has a lisp. He's a methy old guy. All knotted hair, soot in his beard, beer spills on his shirt. There's an absolutely ancient man, bent over so much he's looking at his knees. He's effing old. And the last man is a proper old man. Blazer, bow tie, shiny black shoes, the works. Alcohols dissolve in water. The proper old man puts on a hat. It's a deer stalker. You realise he's actually Sherlock Holmes. Sherlock is drinking a glass of water and clearly thinking hard. You ask what he's doing, and he replies that he is de-solving crimes. Alcohols react with sodium to form hydrogen. Sherlock looks at you and says, "I deduce that you want a drink." He orders you the house speciality, alcohol mixed with soda. Soda makes you think of sodium. The landlord insists that you drink it through a welding mask because the bubbles that alcohol mixed with sodium give off are explosive hydrogen. Just when you think it can't get worse, Sherlock reaches over and sets fire to the top of the drink. The alcohol burns in air. You sweat profusely, from the heat as well as from your nerves, as you sip at this dangerous cocktail. You finish the drink, feeling glad to have survived, but you're horrified when the landlord starts to pour you another. You notice for the first time that the drinks are served from fuel pumps, like those at a petrol station. Alcohol is like fuel. You've just drunk a pint of fuel. Alcohols are used as solvents. You drop the drink and stagger backwards and bump into the messy old man behind you. He's drinking out of his shoe. Disgusting. But it's even more messy than that, as alcohol is pouring out of a hole in the bottom. You notice that, unlike normal shoes, the sole has a vent in it. Alcohol is using the sole vent to leak out of the shoe. It's all too much. You run screaming out of the pub as quick as you can. "No more alcohol, please!" And that's when you run slap bang into the side of the carbox. Carboxylic acid. Right, you may want to pause the story at this point, as that's the end of the part about alcohols. If you do, try to reimagine the whole story step by step to this point and recall what each part means. Restart when you're ready for carboxylic acids. Okay, let's get started. So the carbox barges you into the room with him. He's a huge ox, but he suddenly dives into this tiny coop for a hen. Coop for a hen reminds you of COOH, coo, the key structure of carboxylic acids. The three hens that are watching the carbox squeeze into the coop turn into three uncouth, obnoxious youths. They're called oiks. There's the messy one with a lisp, the methy oik. He has snot in his hair, food all over his face, he's a mess. Then there's the effing oik, the worst of the lot. You are shocked with how she swears, effing and blinding every second word. Then there's a proper oik, the ultimate oik. Think evil sneer on your face that screams, I'm so much better than you, you complete idiot. The effing oik stands right in your face and swears at you in the most incredibly foul language. But the thing that most upset you is not the language, it's the smell, overwhelmingly, on his breath. He stinks of vinegar. The effing oik smells like neat vinegar. You pick up the effing oik and throw him at the carbox. Mid-air, he turns into a deerstalker hat, just like Sherlock Holmes. The hat lands on the carbox's head. Now the carbox is desolving crimes whilst drinking water. But the carbox takes one sip and cries out in pain, "It's acid!" The carbox has made the water acidic. The carbox becomes enraged, bursts out of the coop and charges around the room, knocking everything off the walls. But you notice that all over the walls are these great big carbon 8s. And each time the carbox reacts with one of the carbon 8s that he hits, he farts. Carbon dioxide farts. The exhausted carbox finally comes to rest, standing in front of a bottle of alcohol. Picks it up and drinks. Bizarrely, the mix of alcohol and carbox produces lots of Easter eggs. Easter reminds you of esters. The Easter eggs pop out of the carbox instead of the farts. You find that you're having to duck and dodge the flying Easter eggs, so you decide it's time to leave the carbox room. Right, you may want to pause the story again at this point. That's the end of carboxylic acids. Remember, if you're going to go through it again, reimagine the whole story step by step. And press start when you're ready to go. So let's get on with the ester part of the story. You step out of the carbox room and bump straight into the Easter Bunny, who jumps on you and bounces you through his doorway. You fall through and are stunned to see a huge orchard of trees covered in beautiful Easter eggs. You had no idea that they grew on trees. You can't help but shout out, "Cool!" This reminds you of the key structure for esters. That's COOR. You turn to mention this to the bunny, but you're shocked to realise that the bunny has become an evil bunny. And on top of that, the evil bunny is wearing women's clothing. It's an evil effeminate Easter bunny, or ethyl ethanoate, which, coincidentally, is the name of the ester that you have to recall for your exams. You start to edge backwards away from the evil Easter bunny. But as you do, you notice that the bunny is starting to give off a vapour. It's just like a sweaty football player on a cold day. Very soon, the whole Easter bunny has vaporised away. And all that is left in the room is the beautiful smell of luxurious Easter chocolate. The smell is so strong that you can even taste it. And that's it. That's the key content on alcohols, carboxylic acids and esters. Lots to remember. This is a long video, so test your memory now and reimagine it all again. We'll be in touch to tell you when to go through it again, but meanwhile, thanks for imagining with Mojo.